everyone, and thanks for tuning in, and welcome to this piano tutorial of Neil Young's Philadelphia. We're going to go ahead and start with the left hand. The piece begins in the key of C major, so no sharps, no flats, just white keys. And there are just a few chords you have to learn here in the left hand, and they go like this. Okay, what I'm doing there is a C major chord, C, E, G, up to an A minor chord, C, E, A, down to an E minor chord, B, E, G. And you'll notice that I'm playing it on the beat. We don't have a full rhythm section here. It's just the piano, so no drums, no bass, and it's important that we keep the beat and keep the song moving forward. So I play each chord on the beat like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one other thing you're probably noticing is that I'm not playing each and every note of each chord every time. That begins to sound redundant, and so what I do is I just play maybe the bass note, and I'll sustain that while I play these upper two notes repeatedly on the beat. And we're also using the sustain pedal here. So even though we may not hit that note again, it continues to resonate through the soundboard, and we hear it as we continue to play the piece. So those are the first three chords. The next chord you need to learn is an F major chord. It's voiced like this, C, F, A. Back down to C. Then I play another F major chord, but I play it in its root position, an octave lower, followed by a G major chord in its root position, directly above. So let me show you that one more time, and you can practice it a few times on your own, and then we'll add the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those last two notes you probably recognize as the introduction to the piece. All right, so it's that simple. Once you've learned that left hand, let's go ahead and add the right. So here's our middle C, and I'm going to start by playing on the E directly above that middle C. It sounds like this. Almost like I'm ringing it like a bell. Let me play that again. All right, so once you can add those two hands together, you've essentially learned the chorus for the entire piece. There are some slight variations that I can show you later, but now let's go ahead and turn to the verse. So the first section does something interesting here. We actually modulate from the key of C major down to B flat major. So C major, no sharps, no flats. B flat major has two flats, B flat and E flat. So our first chord, no surprise, is going to be a B flat major chord. Okay, and that's voiced with an F in the bass, B flat, and a D on top. That's our first chord. Second chord is an E flat major chord, voiced G, B flat, E flat. Back down to our B flat chord, back up to our E flat chord, and then an F major chord. So very simple, just 3 chords for every single verse in the entire piece. And again, we want to play on the beat. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So practice those transitions and make sure they're comfortable. And then I'm going to show you a neat little trick that Neil Young does when he plays this. I've actually heard him play it both ways. Sometimes he simply blocks out those chords like we did just now. But I've also seen him where he'll play this B flat chord, and he uses this technique where he almost does like a walking bass line, where he takes that F in the bass and he walks it up to a G, and then an A, then back down to a G, then to an F, its original position. And to me, it's almost like a storytelling device. It's like a narrative that's developing with each verse, and it's told in this bass note. And you can see that I've syncopated it there. I'm no longer blocking out the chords like this. I'm simply playing the same bass line that I'm playing in the left hand with my right hand, so it's in an octave now. And then he still goes up to that E flat chord. I do a little transition here. I play a B flat, an E flat, and a B flat. Just something to make it a little interesting. So that's how I like to play the verse. It's open to interpretation. You're learning this for yourself. It's however you're comfortable, whatever sounds good to your ears. That's what's important. So then we go back up to our refrain section or the chorus section, and it's essentially the same. Maybe some slight variation. And one really cool thing that he does here is he actually doubles up the melody by playing it in octaves in the right hand. And so rather than just playing this E, he plays it as an octave. Very beautiful. It's almost like he's emphasizing that melody by doubling it up there. And then we go back to our verse, and back to the chorus, and back to the verse. And then finally, at the end of the piece, he does something very interesting. I told you that at the beginning of the piece, it's written in the key of C major, with the verses written in the key of B flat. Well, at the end, he does go back to the C major sort of melody or motif, this. But you can see I'm playing this accent note here on this D. And I think that that's important for a couple of different reasons. One is it just adds a little bit of variety, but it also adds some depth, some richness to the chords. So we're no longer playing just a straight C major chord with an E in the soprano here, or in the melody. What he does instead is he uses this grace note and kind of bounces off that grace note up to the E. And again, just adds to the overall richness, I think, of the sound. But when he ends the piece, he doesn't end on a C major chord, which is what you would expect for a piece written in the key of C. Instead, what he does is he kind of muddies everything up together. So he's playing this grace note or this accent note on D, and you can hear him holding down the sustain pedal, so it all sort of runs together like this. And this last chord is no longer in the key of C, it's in A minor. And not coincidentally, A minor is the relative minor of C major. So it's the exact same notes, and it's almost a seamless transition from a major, from a happy piece, into a minor key, into a sad piece. And I think, of course, that's open to interpretation, but listening to the lyrics, I think it's both a happy and a sad piece. And really, that's just a testament to the genius of Neil Young and his songwriting ability. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and keep playing.